Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm of course your host, Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be taking a look at the worst performing Tier 9 in the game. The other day, we made a video on the FV2 and 5B, talking about how it's the worst performing Tier 10. But Tier 9 is the tier that's actually kind of interesting, so I'd like to see what the worst performing is. Let's keep scrolling and scrolling. Most played, and here we are, lowest relative win rate. And we want to do this by 65%ers because I want to see what good players are performing the worst in. So we have the 54, the T30, the Kampfpanzer 70, and the Waffenträger Panzer IV. I'm actually very surprised that those four tanks are the worst performing. I mean, the 54 is a really solid tank, and same for the T30. I would 100% say the Kampfpanzer, and the Waffenträger, I don't even understand why that tank's here. I mean, the Waffle is an absolutely amazing tank. Whenever I see 65%ers plus, I always get kind of weirded out because I feel like any player that understands how to use a Waffle should do amazing in it. I mean, almost any 65 plus percenter I talk to at least absolutely loves the Waffle, so I'm very confused to why it's one of the worst performing tanks with win rates. But either way, we are going to be playing in the T54, the Russian Tier 9 medium tank. It's got a really solid gun. Now, there are two gun options. There's one that has 20 millimeters more pen, but it loses DPM, aiming time, I think even a bit of accuracy. It's, in my opinion, not the good gun choice. I have the gun that has 20 millimeters less penetration, but it still has the same heat pen, meaning that if you have to load premium, you're still going to butter through most enemy armor. And the fact that you've got an extra 120 DPM, better aiming time, I mean, why wouldn't you run the gun that has all the advantages? And really, the only disadvantage is a bit less standard pen. Yeah, I feel like when you have the same premium pen, it's really not that much of a downside. So, the only downside of actual Russian mediums in Tier 9 is their premium pen. And look at that, we got a Caro 4510 on my team. That's pretty sweet. The Caro is obviously the new Tier 10 in testing, the 4-shell Italian auto reloader. But that's not what we're here to talk about in today's video. We're here to talk about the 54. So let's make our way into the front line and see what we can do. So what do they have? VK72, Object 268, IS-7, 4202, and a 183. And then for Tier 9s, 50 TP and a standard B. Alright, well, I'll give this about 5 more seconds, and nah, I lied, I'm just going to push up. Usually when you don't spot anybody here, they are off to the other side of the map. Now our IS-7 is capturing base A. You're asking for help. Sucks for you. Maybe learn where the team goes, buddy. Sorry, but that's the truth. If you don't stick with your team, then it is 100% your fault if you die. So, we got the 50 TP off to the side. I can't do anything to that right now. We do have a VK72 and a fire. Nice, okay. You can see the aiming time on this tank is not bad at all, and you can quite easily hit your shells as long as you do let it aim in. We got the standard B, and I really want to fire an HE. We're going for it. Oh, it went high. I mean, it's still 200 damage we took off, but kind of bummed out we weren't able to deal that big old chunk that you can sometimes with this tank. Nice shell into the IS-7, and oh boy, look at our skilled IS-7 throwing his hit points away. And there you go, he's dead. Congratulations. You have learned how to not play on Rockfield. He'll probably do it again next battle, but at least he learned something this game, right? So let's reload. Let's fire a shell right at the 50 TP's lower plate, and it was able to connect right through. Alright, we're not spotted yet. 54's camo is holding up well, and we've been able to get some nice shots in. We got the standard B over here, and I know the standard B is a confirmed pen if we hit him, where the VK72 is not because of its immense frontal armor. So I'm aiming on the standard B again, and fire again. Nice! Look at that, the gun just hitting every shell we fired so far. Now we've got the 268 off to the side. Let's load in a heat shell because I don't trust this gun's standard pen enough, and now we got the side of the 268, which means we can fire another shell right into him. There you go. Up to 2,600 damage dealt. We do have the IS-7 over here, which we are going to fire right into the rear of his turret as well. I'm just taking all this damage I can right now. This is a free damage. So let's fire another shell. There you go. Sweet. And with that, we have dealt a very hefty chunk this game. All that's left is the 268, which is dead. And now we got the 4202, which was the one I think shooting at me over here. We've got the VK72. Yes, it was the 4202. The VK was actually quite healthy. And the 183, which is over here. I don't really know where exactly the 183 is, but I do know that last spotted he was somewhere in the vicinity. Yes, there he is. All right, well, let's aim in a shell onto the 183 and bounce him. Well, let's try again. We do have the VK72 over here as well. Just trying to think of what my smartest decision might be. And, oh, never mind, we won on base cap. Well, guess it doesn't matter. Could have been a pretty decent chunk of damage there at the end of the game, but not the end of the world anyway. We were still able to deal 3,267 in a tier 9 medium, finishing second on our team only behind a tier 10 player. Testing what I've heard right now is a pretty busted vehicle. I would like to see how he's doing in the tank. Let us see. 64% with 3,300 average damage. Seems like it's a lot higher than his average damage, and pretty mid for his win rate, but it's only 10 battles after all. I guess we'll have to see how the tank comes in the testing in the future. But Caro 45, it's not really the topic of today's video, but I will say this. It's a very unique looking vehicle with its 4-shell 380 alpha autoloader. Very weird tank. But with that aside, 54. First battle went pretty well. And I can tell you one thing that we weren't really able to showcase in that game is the immense armor of the T-54. Let me go pull it up on Armor Inspector really quick so I can showcase just how strong it is. Here we are. This is the 54 in Armor Inspector. Its upper plate is 224, and that's on flat ground. If you're using just 5 degrees, look at that. It's over 270 thick. If you're using heat, yeah, sure, you can pen it, but if you're angling it correctly like this, that upper plate can become very, very steep if you just over-angle it. So, yeah, you gotta keep an eye out for the T-54. It can really, really get some tricky bounces on its upper plate, especially if you're in a tier 9 medium. That upper plate is going to be really hard to pen as well. That turret, very solid because it's that Russian rounded design. So we're a little bit late loading into our battle, but that's not going to hurt anybody. It seems like our Leopard is as well, and unfortunately we have the same 4202 that the team had in the last battle on their side, which means he might just die instantly. Either way, we also are up against that Caro 45 ton. So what I've learned about the tank, it's got very poor turret armor. In fact, you can pen it quite easily anywhere in the turret, but it still has that really deadly gun. I mean, a full clip from that tank can literally bring me down to 100 hit points. So, yeah, we'll see how this battle works out. Our 268 pushing right up in the front line, and I can tell you that's probably going to be a mistake, but oh well, guess we'll find out, right? So, oh, we're already down a tank. Oh, this game. All right, well, we are already down a tank, which is quite incredible. And there's our FE4202 bleeding already, a pretty big chunk. But we'll see if this battle just gets worse. Oh, there goes our 4202 bleeding more. Oh boy. I'm going to be real, guys. This is just a waste. Thankfully, this is a tier 9 battle and not a tier 10, because, man, would this be a waste of a tier 10 game, wouldn't it? Let's get a nice shell into the Caro. There you go. Nice shot there. Let's put on our adrenaline. Maybe we can get one more shell out and fire. There you go. I did say the turret armor is quite weak. I was able to explore the armor a little bit when looking at the vehicle. That was just a bit of a bad poke from me. Didn't know if the 268 was going to notice me, and by the time I tried turning, it was a bit too late. So in this situation, our 268 is running away. He's going to die. Our 4202 is dead. Our Leopard 1 is AFK, and our Ho-Ri is dead. Wow, this is a terrible team. This is not a terrible team. This is an awful team. Oh my. Well, we're going to do another battle after this. There's nothing wrong with the T-54, nor did anything it do bad in this game at all. This was just really a bad game in general for this tank because of our team. So let's get a nice HE into the rear of that Vickers. And wow, was that a nice HE. Able to finish off the tank, actually. Let's keep on pushing this way. Hopefully we don't get shot in the side. Go, 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 go. I want to finish off this VK-72 and fire. Never mind. That was a bad shot for me. I'm going to be totally honest there. Let's reload again. Maybe we can get a shell. Yes, there you go. Nice. Heat shell right into the lower plate of that VK-72. And with that, we're going to reverse, and... oh, nice. Look at that. Beautiful shell into the VK. We do have the standard B off to my side, which I'm going to honestly try and HE. Boop. There you go. Nice HE into the standard B. And with that... oh... I mean, we did good. We did 2,500 damage in a battle that we by no means should have dealt 2,500 damage in. You can see that the 54's gun worked pretty well. We were able to get a very nice shell into that standard B. We were able to get some nice shells into that VK-72. Even pen that Caro. You can see the premium pen on this tank, while not amazing, is definitely enough to deal with enemy opponents. But overall, yeah, this team was just a pretty big letdown. Thankfully, our 183 was cleared instantly by the enemy's 183. Oh boy, that was a rocker of a game, wasn't it, guys? That was a real whoopsie daisy. So we did 2,600 damage. I can almost guarantee that's top on the team. And wow, it actually isn't. Our 183 was able to connect some Hess shells, it seems like. But Apart from that, oh boy, Hori dealing 0 damage, our Leopard dealing 0 damage, our 4202 dealing 300 damage. Oh boy, this was a battle nobody shall talk about. Let's load into one more game and see if it goes a bit better than that. Here we go, another battle, maybe this time not, yeah, we don't even need to talk about that last team. Let's just move on. So what do we have? An M103, T30, Tortoise, and a VK45 Wotb. Alright, they also got a KV5, an M4190, and a VK168. So for mediums, they have one. It's a light tank, one of the worst performing lights in Tier 8, meaning that I can make a pretty decent judgment that the player using it might not be the best player, which will be even better for me. So, yeah, welcome to Wargaming and their matchmaker being trash. Okay. I'm going to push over here, though, and let's see what we can do. Now, I know for a fact the M4190 is going to have a very hard time penning my frontal armor because I am the 54. I've got so much of it, and actually, it seems like there's nobody here. Hello, I would like to spot somebody. Let me keep pushing up. Maybe we'll spot somebody over in this bush. This is a fairly common TD position, but maybe not for their team. Let's spot through their spawn. They don't have an AFK, which means their entire team is over here, including their M4190. I don't have the gun depression for right now, but there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Nice shell into his tank, but man, is our gun depression poor. All right, let's get a shell into his tank, and let's back up from the T50, or not the T54, the M103. M103 obviously carries a lot of gun depression. Not only that, but it also has a quite beefy alpha. Now, I am going to wiggle my tank, and hopefully this M103 will bounce me, but in that situation, he didn't. He's putting on his adrenaline, and in this current spot, not the best of positions for me. I'm kind of stuck here, and as you can see, we got penned once again by the M103. But long live the 54E1, and let's see if we can get another pen into this M103. Boop. Okay, never mind. 54 gun being amazing. Now, this is the part about the 54's armor that is good, but not great. As you can see, that M103 did bounce the third shell on me, but frontally, he kind of buttered right through our upper plate, even when we tried angling it. While 230 is strong, it's definitely not impervious, especially for any tier 9s or 10s. So keep that in mind. That's one thing that I think a lot of good players might get a little delusional on, is they think the armor's a lot better than it actually is on this tank. So 3 more seconds, we should be able to get another shell into this Tortoise, which we are able to right there. And you can see that the decent DPM on this vehicle is absolutely tearing into this poor tank. There you go, that's 900 hit points into his vehicle, half of his hit point pool taken off. Now we got like the VK and the KV5. We'll shoot the VK. Never mind. Oh well, that's my fault. I wanted damage. So let's just push over towards the Tortoise and see if we can clear him. Hello, Mr. Tortoise. How are you doing? Oh, there you are. And, oh, come on. Let's reload this. Now, when it comes to side scraping in this tank, not the best, not the worst. We can decently side scrape this position, and I know for a fact that I should be able to out-reload this Tortoise, so we've got our adrenaline on, and there you go. Cleared. Nice. Alright, we got the VK45 Wotb over here. Ooh, game, what are you doing to me? Okay, let's try this again. Fire and hits. And it bounced again on the rear of his tank. I cannot let you know the amount of... Oh my god, game! This tank's accuracy is terrible on the move, my god. Alright, goodbye. And now all we gotta do is ram. Yes, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's 166 damage extra for our pallet that we should have had earlier. But I guess not. Either way, 54. Not a bad tank. We were able to probably deal over 3,000 damage this battle, I would suspect. And there you go. 39. Oh, actually 4,090 damage. Just took a little bit longer there to load our damage. And look at that, even a mastery. So, overall, I would say this is a pretty solid vehicle. It can definitely do its job. It's got a good gun. Unlike the FE2 and 5B, that's actually a pretty bad tank. I can't say the same for the T54. In fact, I'm quite surprised that it's the worst performing Tier 9 in the game. I went 8 battles in the tank today, 3,700 W8 and 70% win rate. Nothing crazy, but definitely a decent win rate. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!